and I've pulled this one up. Now again, I think I paid £21 for this one at auction, and it is in a right state, as you can probably see. I want to show you this because I just want to show you the sort of things you can achieve. Now look how thick and grubby that dirt is, all in and around that carburettor and at the base of the unit there. Right, rust is all peeled off there, look, as you can see. It's all complete though, it comes with a grass box, this one. And as you can see, this side's even worse with paint flaking off and stuff like that. But there's no holes in the actual deck at all. It is all solid, it's just where the surface rust has, the paint's flaked off and surface rust has sort of taken over. Right, here's the red Sovereign lawnmower that you saw in the last video, which was in a very poor state. I've started stripping it down. All I've got to do now is undo the 3 bolts that hold the engine in, and it will be totally stripped down then to the bare chassis. Now, in total, up until now, I suppose it's taken me about 30 minutes to get to this stage. So in time, I've invested about half an hour's time into stripping this down. Wasn't too much of a problem, everything came apart as nicely as it could have done. I squirted it all down, as you know, with a cleaning solution, just so that it's easier to handle, because you don't want to get your hands so grubby if you don't need to. And I've got the benefit, as I told you before, of an airline where you can just basically get a paintbrush with the cleaning solution, agitate it all, and then just take it outside and blow it all off, and then just give it a quick wipe down. Let me just show you a bit nearer to what I've actually done so far. Well, as you can see, it's looking a lot cleaner than what it was before. If I come around the other side, you can see that the airline has actually taken quite a bit of that paint off now, so I'm actually going to repaint this unit, so that's why obviously I need the engine out of the unit. Again, it's only 3 bolts, 1 bolt there, 1 bolt there, and 1 just the front there. That's all that's holding the engine in basically. Remove the blade and then the engine will pull straight off, and I'm left with just the deck then. What I'll do then is I'll give that a sandblast and get rid of all this loose flaking paint. This label that was actually here, you may have remembered, there was a nice detailed label that was just peeling off there a little bit, but I wanted to retain that, so all I've done, I took a heat gun and just heated up the area with the heat gun. The Sovereign one at the front I couldn't save, it had a few chips at the bottom of it anyway. I'm not too sure, I did try pulling it off with a heat gun, but I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I might, I've got a vinyl cutter and I might make a vinyl label to go on there. So yeah, as you can see, it's in a bit of a state. It wasn't good enough for me to just refurbish, clean up and put back in. So as I said, on this occasion I decided that I'm going to repaint the deck. I haven't looked at the engine yet. I will take the exhaust off obviously, and I'm going to give that a sandblast and a respray. Everything else looks to be in order. The springs are all there, which makes a nice pleasant change, saves me having to buy or locate another set of springs, and they're in very good condition as well. So bearing in mind this mower had basically an air filter which was full up with oil, I'm hoping that this is going to be a nice runner. So I'll just show you, I just thought I'd show you this now, just to show you before we go to the next stage and actually prepare the deck for spraying. There we go, 10 minutes later and the engine's out, and all I'm left with is just the basic deck. Now as you can probably see, underneath, it's not in too bad condition. I'm not going to go to the hassle of actually painting now. I could hammer right out, I've done that before with other decks, but there's no sign of any penetrating rust at all on this one, so I'm just going to leave it. It just takes up time at the end of the day, so I'm not really too bothered about it. As long as the top is looking great, I'll have the blade sharpened obviously as well, and I do tend to clean them blades up. Over here is my shelf with all the bits off of that lawnmower. There's the engine, ready for its bare last final clean up and reassembly when I come to do it. The blade sitting there, that will be actually sandblasted and repainted as well. The carb's going to have an overhaul, as you know, where we put a new gasket and seal on it, and just service it by blowing all the jets out and cleaning out the fuel tank as well. The wheels will be cleaned up with the mechanisms, and the case will be painted. So that's all we've got in line for this lawnmower, and everything will be reassembled, and I'll show you the result of that when I've finished it. Here we go, 10 minutes later. I've just given it a coat of red oxide primer because it was bare metal. I'll just let that dry. As you can see, it's still a bit wet at the moment. And then we'll spray it with a lovely deep red, something near to the original, which I might have in stock. We'll have a look. Right, I'm just going to wait now for the red one to dry, but in the meantime I've had a phone call and I've got a woman who actually wants a self-propelled mower within the next 2 days. Well, lucky enough I had one over here and I've actually just pulled this one up, so I've got to work on a couple of mowers at the same time now. I've had to leave the red one just while it's drying anyway. Again, is a self-propelled one. You can see the belt at the bottom there, all the levers, the cables aren't connected. I know someone's had a go at that, I don't know what that's all about. I'll have to repaint all this, obviously. I'll probably hammer out the deck like we did with the other one. The engine's in a bit of a state, that's going to need a bit of a repaint as well. But same old thing, when we took the air filter off, I've got the carb obviously taken off now, but when we took the air filter off and turned it upside down, sure enough it was covered in thick oil. Everything else seems to be okay, apart from it's just been probably left out in the open. All the wheels seem to work. I don't know about the mechanism for the drive gear yet, I'll have to find that out afterwards. But if not, I've got a couple of spare drive gears anyway, so I've got a... that's a bit faded. I might take one off the other lawnmower I've got over there, the back plate, and I've also got a mount filled box there, so that should go straight on. And hopefully I'm going to turn this one over probably today and tomorrow. And while I'm still working on our little red one, which is now just come in now after its repaint and lacquer, I've just lacquered it now. It's had 2 coats of lacquer, so this doesn't take too long to dry this stuff, so I'm just going to put a lamp on it. I've got an infrared lamp to go over it. That will actually cure the paint, the lacquer as well. Well, as you can see, there's 3 mowers there all lined up. That one's gone. That went for £62, I think, on eBay. This one's on eBay, nearly gone. So you could say going, gone. Sorry. And this is the one I had a quick rush job on from someone locally. Let's have a look here. So 2 lovely mount fields. This is the one, as I say, that I had in bits and pieces. I do it at the last minute to quickly get this one together, which I have. I'm now out of blinking mount field grass boxes, as you can see. I've got no more mount field plastic grass boxes anyway. But yeah, I mean, this one didn't turn out too bad either, as you can probably see. Go around here, same treatment as the other one I've just sold. This one's in better condition actually, to be honest with you. And it's the old SP470, whereas that one's got the Bridge & Stratton Classic engine fitted to it. This one's self-propelled, that one isn't, so there's not much difference in looks, but there's probably about £30–40 difference in price for them two. So yeah, let's go back inside. Let me just show you the reason why I had to stop doing our little project lawnmower. Where is it? Turn the light on. There's the deck. The deck's actually been nice and lacquered now. And I'm just going to try and work on some sort of graphics for there. I'm having a little look on the internet, see if I can get something. If not, I'll just make something with my vinyl cutter to go on there. I've got the label to go back on there, which I retained from before. But I'm sure you can see that deck's in an absolutely different condition than it was before. And all I've got to do then, these are all the parts off of it. It's just a basic clean-up. I think, did I service the carb on that one? No, I haven't even done the carb on that one yet. The engine's going to have a quick repaint, the blade's going to be sandblasted and repainted, and these are going to be cleaned up and the case is going to be repainted, and that's just going to be assembled. And you should see a totally different result from the last time we saw it, initially when I first put it on the table. Anyway, so I've just phoned up the woman for this one. I said before it goes on eBay, she's going to either pick it up today or tomorrow, so that one's actually gone. And yeah, 3 lovely lawnmowers. Nice little bit of profit there for me. I've still got to finish that other one, then I've got to find out which one of these other ones to start work on. I might use that one next. That hasn't got a grass box for that one though, but that's quite a big chunky mower. That one there, oh there's that one over there. Again, I'm a bit tight for grass boxes now, so I'll have to start selling a few lawnmowers without grass boxes. There is some odd ones here, but not too sure. I've still got to obviously work on. I've still got these two sitting here. That's still sitting there, as you can see. That's still sitting here. I showed you the Mazda before, the little Mazda, which I've actually just given it a clean because that goes today. The chap is coming back from Norway today, and he's actually going to pick this up today. I think he'll be pleased. But don't forget, I sprayed this outside, and as you can see, it's got a lovely little finish to it. It's in very good condition now, but as you can see throughout my Retro Restore channel, I'm actually showing how I actually created this little effect, or repainted this car on or under this carport here. So I've actually got another one to go over there. I'll start that one. Once this one goes out, I'll probably start on that one as well. So keep your eyes open for that one. Again, I'm not doing these cars up to excellent condition. This one just basically did need a respray. It had damage on all panels, virtually every panel, and I just show how I fixed the dents and resprayed it. Basically outside in the weather, waiting for a bit of sunshine obviously, but just stuff you can do yourselves. The idea of doing the little Mazda MX-5 like this is that you haven't got to spray a roof when you're outside, obviously, and you ain't got a proper area to cover up. It can be quite awkward to spray a roof, plus it's a little car where you can lean over as well. That one's sitting there under a cover waiting for the same treatment, and I'm still waiting to spray this old van I bought. Again, I got this locally for spares or repairs. It's an old 1998 version in not very, well, it's okay, it's sound, it's got a few rust scab around it, but I'll just give that the same treatment. That's what I go auction reaping in. I could have bought a newer van, but what's the point if I don't practice what I preach? This come from eBay, on listed as sales and repair, and as I say, after a coat of paint I'll probably out that one. I sold my other van to have this one. I had a later version transit van before that, which I've actually sold, and bought this one as a way of auction reaping. So yeah, I mean, I'm still doing it even with my own vehicles. Sharon's in the Land Rover, she's taken that one out. We sold our BMW. So yeah, I enjoy doing it. It's fun. It's absolutely fun. I love doing it. I love the challenge, and I love all the different things you come across when you're auction reaping. Went to the auction again yesterday after doing the viewing. I viewed it yesterday evening, and we bid online, and I won another 3 lawnmowers. And I was lucky enough to be able to pay £15 for 2 of them, and I had to go up to £35 for another one, which was self-propelled in very, very good condition. But yeah, the other 2, it's just a matter of, one of them had the carb that was been taken off, and no one bid on that whatsoever, so I got that for £15. The other one, I don't know why they didn't bid on it, because it was in full, absolutely good original condition, plus it had all 3 of them had the grass boxes. So yeah, I'll probably, for the price of 1, I got 3 lawnmowers. I'll be working on them shortly. As I say, they'll probably turn over a lot quicker, because everything was okay. The paintwork was okay, the bodywork was all okay, all the wheels was okay, the grass box was there. They probably just needed a service, so I'll be picking them up tomorrow. I won't be doing that today. We're going to go to the seaside a bit later on, so enjoy this weather before it starts raining. Here's a little trick for you. If your wheels look untidy and you obviously don't want to spend that for a new set of wheels, just give them a quick coat of black. Nothing serious. You're not looking at making them look new or anything. You're just sprucing them up a little bit. Because some of them look very warm around the outside, look. Again, it's nothing to make them look new. It just takes that well-worn look off of them. And already they look 100% better. You can see the difference now between them two and them two, look. Yeah? No preparation really needed apart from a slight degrease. Just makes them look a bit better. It's not going to last for long, but it'll definitely improve the visual aspect of your sail. Just one for you to keep in mind. Again, we're not trying to make it look new, but just these little added tips just make the difference between losing 10 or 20 pounds on the sail. Right, I just wanted to show you this. Now, I don't know whether you can actually see, but I don't know if you, is that clear enough? I don't know if you can see that. Well, inside the exhaust port there, I took the exhaust off to give it a respray, and I can see lots of oil and also lots of carbon. This is on this red mower which I was refurbing, as you know. I just thought I'd have a quick look at that, and anyway, I decided to take the head off, and I don't know if you can see that, can you? The actual head has got loads of carbon and oil inside it, but when you actually take a look at the actual piston and bore and the valves, and you can see that there's lots of oil. Now, this is either as a result of the mower being tipped up the wrong way and the person trying to start it, and all the oil has come from the inlet through the carb and into the barrel, which is hopefully what you can see there. And a simple way of checking that, all I'm going to basically do is to turn the engine over. First of all, look at the valves as well when I'm doing this. Make sure they're going up and down correctly, which they are. Right, I'm at top dead centre now. Just wipe some of that oil away. Now, what I'm looking for is wear in the piston. Now, there's no movement there in the bore at all, so I'm quite happy with that the oil hasn't come up through the rings of the pistons. And in the same breath, what I'm going to also check is the inlet and exhaust valve. So I'm just opening the exhaust valve now, as you can see, and I'm just going to give that a wiggle side to side. There's a little bit of play in it, but nothing that would cause that amount of oil, so I'm happy with that. This just little checks I'm doing before I strip it down any further. And the inlet valve, there's really not a lot of play there, not to cause that amount of oil anyway. So I'm happy that the oil that's in there, that was laying in there and it's covered all this, is due to someone obviously starting it and running it with oil that had gone in through the carburettor and entered the bore this way, and it's also caused loads of carbon build up. So all this basically needs now is a clean up and a put back together with a new gasket. Well, there she is. That rotten old lawnmower has now been restored to its former glory, sitting there with its three sisters. Let me show you a closer look. Well, I haven't put the graphics on it yet, but I just want to show you the overall appearance. Bearing in mind, you remember the state this was in, with all the chipped paint at the bottom and all that cruddy oil that was there. Let's go around the front. As you can see, she's totally restored. That looks like the new deck. And as you remember, all the paint was flaking off of this. I've given the exhaust a respray with high temperature paint and put the casing back on. The engine's had a bit of a spruce up, a few touch up with some spray on the casings. The wheels, as you know, have been sprayed black. That just makes them stand out a bit better, that's all. And I've also sprayed in some satin black, not masking anything off, on the handle rails where there was a few bits of scratches and stuff. But I think you'll see that it is actually a lovely looking mower. Now, I haven't started it up yet. You know, we've done the decoke and we've checked the bores and we've checked the valves, which seem to be okay. So I'm going to give it its first start now, so you're going to actually witness it. Now, I'm expecting it to smoke because there's probably oil still left in the exhaust manifold, so we'll let that burn off. Let's just see what happens anyway. Alright, now we'll try it with some petrol in. there you go. Just shows you what you can do with an old mower if you have to strip it right the way down. Now, I mean, I've done it to this one, but this isn't really a high priced unit. I mean, if this was a £150, £200 mower and it just needed a respray, yes, I'd go to the trouble. I mean, this is probably about a £70 mower, £80 mower, something like that. So it's not practical really to do it to this sort of mower, but I just wanted to show you the sort of effects you can get if you have got the right equipment, i.e. a sandblasting cabinet to remove the deck. As I say, the only problem I got is my cabinet is not quite big enough to fully get this deck in and to rotate it while it's in there. So that was the only real problem I come up against. And the rest of it is just general stuff, which is painting things up, rubbing things down, cleaning items up, and then just reassembly. And you can get these effects. So I'm going to find a Sovereign label to go on the front of that, and that finishes the project. And I'm sure you can see that it looks pretty smart. Here's my other ones. As you know, these are on the way. I've done these in 2 days basically. These have all sold within 2 days. I could have finished this in a day, but I had to quickly get this one done at the end there. So this one took preference, which I finished off this morning, and we're now in the afternoon the next day, and this one's now finished. So you've seen a complete refurbishment of this one within a day and a half. But within that day and a half, I've also got this one ready. So that one was in a very much of a state as well. I actually painted the deck on that one, as you know. There you go. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let's see you in the next video. Thanks very much and enjoy.